Hello and a warm welcome to yet another episode of your program Infrastructure Weekly. I am Ajibola Onwuchekwa. In today's episode of the program, we'll be taking you around the project sites from rail, roads, housing and power sector. The projects are a combination of first for the nation and beneficiaries. Join us after this timeout for more on the program. Stay tuned.
Coming together of opportunities, and this is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and QoTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
We start from the rail sector, where the federal government has done a test run of the Lagos-Ibadan rail project. The completed section of the rail project, which is the Lagos-Abeokuta section, was test run with dignitaries including senators, the governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, Alaki of Egbaland, Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, and Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, joining the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, on the ride. Let's take a listen.
The 150 km/h rail line no doubt will help in addressing the deficit in the transportation sector of the country. The current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has however made the development of railway transportation one of its focal points and had promised to deliver the railway lines in record time, which is now reality with the test run. The project is a joint one between the federal government of Nigeria and the Chinese government. While speaking, the Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi says the railway project is a promise kept by the Muhammadu Buhari administration, urging the people to have belief in the government. On his part, Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun says the economic importance of the project cannot be quantified, adding that apart from helping to ease transportation gridlock between Lagos and Abeokuta, it will also facilitate easy movement of goods around the axis.
And we got here and we're grateful that the Ogun State government has put something that looks like a ceremony to welcome the first standard gauge. Well, it's not the first. The first is actually Itape-to-Warri. That's the first standard gauge in Nigeria. But this is the third. Because the Kaduna Abuja one is the second one, and this is the third one. But I can tell you what your governor said. Can I tell you what he said? Yeah. He said the first tunnel in Nigeria is in Ogun State. And there are two actually. There are two tunnels. There's one that the narrow gauge crosses the standard gauge. That's a tunnel. And there's the second one here. The third one will be in Ibadan, when we're trying to cross that major road in Ibadan.
So with what we are doing today, we are going to help all of us as a people. We are going to help our economy, our industries, because it will now be easy for you to move our goods from the port or even from Lagos to anywhere. Either you are going to Kano, you are going to Onisha, you are going to Aba, you are going to Ilorin, just even to Olokemeji down around the corner here. Number one, the time it will take will be shortened. The hassles, the problem that will take will be lessened. So clearly now we can move. We can move maybe 1,000 containers or even 5,000 containers. That just by just one train, they will move it from one place to another, maybe from Lagos to Kano. Even the employment that this will create for our people. We've been told 11,000, 2,000. Look at the attendant one, the indirect. indirect benefit to all our young ones, to our young graduates, to our artisans. And clearly people don't know. This is more of transferring of technology. We are transferring technology to our people. Yes, the CCCC are the one midwifing this, but about 90-95% of people working, they are Nigerians. But the one that excites me the more is wherever this rail passes through, it will support development. Now look at this place. Just come to this place in maybe 6 months' time. And that is why as government, look at all of these places now. You will see what it will become. So it will support development. All these places will be turned to mega cities. Anywhere the station is, you will see everybody coming there.
The Alaki of Egbaland, Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, who made history just as his grandfather, Oshokalu Gbadebo, who in 1906 traveled by the first railway from the same destination in Nigeria, also joined in the train ride. The paramount ruler further noted that the benefits of the railway will create employment generation for the people, among other benefits. Also on hand at the railway point at Ladiri in Abeokuta was the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka.
Coming from Lagos in 29 minutes means that all your empty houses in Abeokuta will now get tenants, because people will walk in Lagos, they will live here, get to Lagos even earlier than those who are living from Ikeja to Lagos. It means also that your farm products will get to Lagos very fresh. There used to be an Idogo train in those days that took food to Oyigbo. This can be repeated now. It means that those in Lagos have to work harder, because your own foodstuffs will get there before their own. It also means that more people will get employed.
But for now, we're keeping our feet on the ground, looking at the opportunity for our small traders, commuters, etc., etc., etc. I don't give a damn who puts it there. It doesn't matter whatsoever. As long as we have this saying we have in Yoruba, so if you see a serpent, it's a man who sees the serpent and a woman who kills it. What does it matter? But this one is not a question of killing. This is being creative. This is not a do or die occasion, but a do and do occasion. Congratulations, everyone involved in this enterprise. Next time round, a rocket. Come.
The federal government had, however, declared a 3-month free train ride from the Lagos to Abeokuta end of the railway line. With this development, residents of the states as well as visitors are sure in for a good time and pleasure.
Now to the road sector, where the federal government has once again reiterated its commitment to the opening of all bad roads in Nigeria and the regeneration of the nation's premier port complex in Apapa, with the construction of a 350-capacity trailer park and the start of the reconstruction, the Oworo-Shoki-Ojota Expressway, which is expected to take 2 years to complete.
The Levantis Bridge was closed to traffic following extensive damage it sustained from a fire outbreak underneath the structure. Many Nigerians, especially those who do business in the area, cried out for government to intervene, and today the federal government has reopened the bridge after a period of closure for its rehabilitation. Director of Highways in the Southwest, Funsho Adebi, who performed the opening of the bridge on behalf of the federal government, said it is a fulfillment of a promise to ensure the ease of doing business and also engender economic development.
The scope of the work, as you can see, is that the entire stretch of the road was flexible pavement. But it's one of the oldest roads in Lagos, but the level of deterioration has increased. The stress feature has become so pronounced, and the deterioration has gotten to a point where, as you can see, it's creating a traffic gridlock. Preliminary work has made appreciable progress, and I want to assure you that it will be completed in due course. It's no longer going to be a flexible pavement as before. It will be a reinforced concrete pavement, just to ensure the durability, the strength, as well as improve the bearing capacity of those pavements.
For his part, the regional director of the construction firm, Julius Beja, said the work done on the bridge is of the highest quality and assured the Nigerians that his firm has done a good job.
We are very sure. We have involved our in-house experts on bridges. We've done a comprehensive design study. We've obviously chosen high-quality materials. There's a continuous chain of quality control checks done on these materials, starting from the steel, the pre-stressing steel, but also the concrete, in order to ensure the integrity of the concrete and the durability of the bridge. And that combined with a short time frame, since we wanted to ease the traffic situation here in this area, we've basically produced extra sets of concrete cubes, and we were nearly crushing those cubes on a daily basis to basically determine what's the earliest stage to release the bridge to the traffic without compromising on quality or durability in any way.
For truck drivers, the reopening of the bridge is a game changer for their business. They thanked President Buhari and the federal government for the decision to repair the road while asking for more.
Not the road, that bridge. Yes, not the bridge, that Lebanese bridge now. Everybody there, I enjoying that, making federal government open now. Because the suffer where I don't suffer for that bridge now past 1 year. Suffer to go load and everything, no day. If they enter park now, before go load for Tinkan or Apapa, take 20 minutes to go come back.
We inspected the third mainland bridge and we saw what was happening there. The surfacing work, the lane towards Adeniji, the lane has been completed. We are now on the mainland bound lane. They asked for the expansion joint and the underground piles repairs. That one is starting soon. The materials are already on their way. I'm sure in the next 4 weeks or thereabout, serious work will start.
The team of the Ministry of Power Works and Housing, led by the Directorate Highways, later proceeded to inspect work done at the Third Mainland Bridge, the truck plaza inside the wharf, described by the director as a sort of transit camp, which will be ready by the end of March. The contracting firm, through its managing director, Giancarlo Albertazzi, also promised that the last bit of the truck plaza, the shoreline protection, will be ready on schedule.
Been talking about is being completed substantially. The reason why it's not being put to use till now is because we felt it is better for operational efficiency, safety and security reasons to construct the shoreline protection, because the shoreline is a major component that will guarantee the serviceability as well as durability of this facility. On this platform here is about 350 capacity trailer park, meaning at least from the gridlock you have been seeing, at least this place can accommodate 350 trucks out of them, and it's programmed such that they won't be here forever. It's just like a transit camp. You drive in and wait for when it's your turn, you load and you depart Lagos.
Leave to the road and to the port users, as it will take away about 360 vehicles off the road, plus some small medium cars which driver might have, for which also there is a parking provision within the area here.
The team later visited the site of the Apapa-Oshodi-Oworoshoki Expressway.
We've been trying to identify services. We've got all the stakeholders together. We're having meetings with stakeholders to make sure that we identify the services before we start really working. We're trying to get our establishment complete, getting the designs complete. We also bring in specialized equipment from overseas. I've just got back from France. So the equipment is on the high sea already, just so we can fast track this whole thing.
If you're just joining us, the program is Infrastructure Weekly. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, Infrastructure Weekly, and on Twitter, Infra_Weekly. Join us after this break for more on the program. Stay tuned.
Dear lottery operator, you've done a remarkable job so far getting into a business that has been highly criticized for many years. You've done well to uphold your credibility and boost confidence in the business. Kudos to you. This is just to remind you of the rules of the game as prescribed by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Gaming is not for persons under 18. Underage gaming is prohibited. Report illegal operators to the Commission, and also always remember the regulatory job of the Commission. Whatever your category, lotteries, sport betting, promos, scratch cards, games, it is the duty of the Commission to protect lottery players and the operators as well as promote transparency and accountability. Licensees are also expected to play their part, which includes remittances to the National Lottery Trust Fund. For more information, please go to natlotregcom.gov.ng. The National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Lottery the right way.
Thanks so much for staying tuned. For comments, feedback and inquiries, you can get in touch with us on any of the social media handles shown on your screen. And now to the power sector, where the nation has recorded a first with the commissioning of the new 30 MVA transformer transmitting station at Ilashe Island in Oriade local government area of Lagos State. The commissioning, according to the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, is one designed to address not only the plight of the rural community of Ilashe, but also to serve as a boost for economic diversification drive of the federal government, with the island being the tourism hub.
This is Ilashe community off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, also bordering the lagoon, a community that has existed for centuries. Despite its closeness to the hustle and bustle of the nation's commercial heartland of Lagos and the nation's premier seaport of Apapa, it has remained without electricity supply despite the efforts of successive administration in Lagos. But today, the people rejoice with the commissioning of this 30 MVA transformer transmission station, the first of its kind on an island all over Nigeria. Minister of Power, Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola said this commissioning is hugely significant to the lifestyle of the people and improvement of the local economy.
Our mission here is simple. The managing director of TCN says that I have challenged him to deliver. Let me say to him and his team, including Engineer Dewumi and Engineer Debola and all of them in Transmission Company of Nigeria, that in Ilashe you have delivered. Having to connect electricity over the lagoon was an engineering feat, but our staff in TCN, under the leadership of UG Mohammed, have achieved this, and while also making adequate compensation not to interfere with natural navigation over the lagoon. So what we expect to see here is reduced cost of operation for all of the businesses and the homes, less generators, cheaper fuel energy distributed now by EcoDisco because we've put in the transmission.
He added that it is also a significant development for the diversification of the economy and the ease of doing business, especially for the tourism sector.
When the president approves the tax credit initiative to build more roads, it's all ease of doing business. Better roads lead to ease of moving goods to factories. Factories' operational capacities pick up. If the operational capacities pick up, they employ more people. Roads connecting north and south, east and west, the list is long. Lagos, Ibadan, Benin, Ore, Shagamu, Ilorin, Jeba, Mokwa, Sokoto, Ilela, Tambuwa, Kano, Maiduguri. All of this, even while we're building now, Ulep to Agesi, the travel times are reducing drastically, and this is going to translate to competitiveness, which is the third goal of the ERGP.
For his part, the monarch of the town said the day is his birthday and one it can never forget. Managing Director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Usman Gor Mohammed, said the commissioning is an attestation of the confidence reposed in the company by the federal government.
That when people are talking about power sector, they look at what we have done in the last 3 years, but they don't look at actually the hole that we enter inside before we came out of the hole and reach where we are. But I can tell you, we have worked very hard, and one of the legacy that we did is here. For the first time,
under his direction, because he said he wants a stable grid. We also focus on the quality of power. Quality of power. Everything you see here are built by TCN engineers under the leadership of the Lagos General Manager, who is sitting here.
The minister thereafter, on request, acceded to the call for the promotion of the team leader of the Transmission Company of Nigeria team that built and delivered the project at about 10% of its project cost of over ₦1 billion.
The federal government has commissioned the restoration project for Igbokoda in the Ilaje Eseodo local government of Ondo South Senatorial District, who have been without electricity for over 5 years. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who commissioned the project, said the government will continue to work to ensure Nigerians get the best of infrastructure.
Coming together of opportunity, and this is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and Core TV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
The federal government recently came up with the National Public Building Maintenance Policy, which is a small part of what the Minister of Power, Works and Housing said is going to be done to ensure that all public utilities, from trains to roads to buildings, power installation and water treatment plants, are in good shape to service the people. The minister at an event explained that maintenance is not just a culture but an economy.
When we were talking about infrastructure, they say no, that their own infrastructure is stomach infrastructure. That they will bring rice and kerosene every 4 years. But rice and kerosene will not build a road. Without a road, even your own business can't move. Yes. The ideological difference is that they ordered power equipment. They refused to pay the contractors. The equipment started incurring demurrage. There was no provision in the budget. So we left 800 containers of transformers, circuit breakers, cable, everything in the port. Our own port, we left it in the port for 10 years. Of course, you know the story about roads. Those of you who are traveling now, we have not finished. But even the sections we have built, some of the places you used to sleep overnight, you know you will get home on the day. We haven't finished. And we are building in every state. There's no one state. You know, you used to hear before there is no federal presence in my state. Have you heard it in the last 3 years? No. If we are not building a road, we are building a housing estate. If we are not building a housing estate, rain is passing your state. Sure. If we are not doing that, a secretariat, something is in your state.
Finally, on today's program, we go to the site of the National Housing Program in Imo State. Come with us.
This is the site of the National Housing Program in Imo State, one of the 34 states where the program is going on all over the country. The federal government, according to the team leader, is working hard to complete the site in Owerri and commence the second phase of the project to provide accommodation for the people of the state, so as to help solve some of the accommodation problem faced by the people. Speaking to Infrastructure Weekly crew, during an inspection to the site at Avu in Owerri West local government area of the state, to get a level of work done at the site, Uchenna Ikejiofo, the team leader, said the work is over 90% complete, but added that a proposal has already been made to the Imo State government for land to commence the second phase of the project.
As you can see, we've made significant progress, particularly in engineering works. The roads are here. You can see the electrical installations are also in place now, completely. almost everything about the road and the curbs are in place. Even the houses. Apart from the few contractors that are the 3 contractors actually that have been very slow in executing the works, every other housing contractor has completed and handed over. I mean, the bungalow contractors, we have just 4 of them now that are yet to hand over. That, out of a total of 8 bungalow contractors. The other ones have completed and handed over their completed projects. So we have, you can see even the ones that are yet to complete.
Some of the people working at the site lauded the federal government's effort, saying the program has provided them the opportunity to work and also employ people to work under them without being owed money.
As a graduate of civil engineering, I've had the opportunity to work and also be of maybe a help to my family. And also I've had people who are, subcontractors working under me. As we have laborers, people that came from all walks of life. They came from the north, some of them came from the west. They're also working under me and they've been having their livelihood through it.
Can you statistically tell me a number of people who has worked and who has benefited from this your project?
Okay,
this particular one you are handling.
This is a condominium, and in this place we have about 24 flats. So we've worked with not less than 70 persons.
We are just trying to do some maintenance work now that remains, so that by next week the painting will now commence. It's just, as you can see, the building is just the maintenance work for the painting to commence that's left, and inside some doors and some little things to tidy it up. We are expecting that before this weekend the masonry work should be off. Since I'm in Owerri here doing this work, I'm able to raise family up, and things are going also well.
Thanks so much for staying with us. That will be all in this week's episode of the program. Join us again for another interesting episode of your program, Infrastructure Weekly. Until then, continue to support the infrastructure renewal of Buhari administration. And lastly, pay your tax. I am Ajibola Omuchekwa. Bye for now.
We are going to work to ensure that